I'm thrilled to tell you about Trident Seafood's most recent acquisition, Pickenpack Seafoods in Germany. The opportunity to take the great products from the state of Alaska to the European market is going to benefit the stakeholders of Trident Seafoods now and for generations to come. For 20 years, my father and I have been traveling to Germany and visiting the fish finger manufacturers. The opportunity to acquire Pickenpack Seafoods is truly a dream come true.
This acquisition came about, like all acquisitions do, because of relationships. When Joe first heard that the parent company of Pickenpack was in financial trouble, he flew to China and met with the ownership. So we expressed an interest, and they quoted a price, but Chuck's philosophy is never overpay for a business, that you'll get a second bite at the apple. And we did. We actually had 4 bites of the apple before we made the final deal. An acquisition is really about the merger of 2 cultures. It's not a takeover. This is a German company supporting a European market.
Here we are in the new Pickenpack Seafoods office in Lüneburg. This is in northern Germany, close to Hamburg. It's a very nice historical place. A lot of tourists come here to see the old houses, the old buildings, and you have a nice river, the Ilmenau. I think we can be so happy to live in this beautiful landscape of northern Germany. And we are located here to take care on all European customers.
Pickenpack Seafoods fits into the global vision for Trident Seafoods because it is an Alaska pollock supplier to the market in Europe, and primarily Germany, which is the largest consumer of Alaska pollock. Trident Seafoods being the largest producer of the raw material, this gives us the ability to have a fully integrated channel from source to the plate that we can tell a story about, that we can control the fish, that we can control the quality, and that we can develop the items that we believe are what customers want in Europe and therefore grow the category.
In our modern Riepe factory, we produce mainly 4 big categories of frozen fish. Number 1, fish fingers. Number 2 is the Schlemmer fillet, we call it gourmet fillet. Number 3 is then the portion fillets, the breaded and battered portion fillets. And number 4 is the crispy fillets. So we have really the mega sellers in our portfolio, and we are really looking forward to come up with some new mega seller innovations in the future.
Product development will be a very important part of our company in the future. We have currently the high commodity products like fish fingers and crispy fillets, portion fillets and gourmet fillets. Younger people and further generations will require different products, so innovative products with smaller portion sizes in innovative packaging concepts.
Alaska pollock in German is called Alaska Seelachs, and it started off really being safe, coming from Norway and Iceland. And when the stocks declined and they needed to introduce another species, they actually just named, because it's in the same family and color and texture is very similar, so they introduced Alaska pollock as Seelachs, which is the name for safe, and then they just said it's Alaska Seelachs to make the consumer be more comfortable with what they like. It's the number 1, favorite fish amongst the Germans.
The total annual harvest of Alaska pollock, this is around about 3.1 million metric tons, and 1/3 of this goes only to Europe. And these around about 900,000 metric tons are divided into 2 parts. 50% of this go only to Germany, and the rest is for all other European countries. So Germans consume a lot of this fantastic fish. Alaska pollock is high protein, is low carb, is good omega-3 fat acid. But if you ask the normal consumer, he would say, well, I like the white fish, it's a very neutral taste, it's a good texture. I think this is the reason why the Germans like the Alaska pollock. And the most common preparations is the Schlemmer fillet and the fish fingers. And you can ask everybody in Germany, they grew up with these 2 products and they know it for many, many years, they love it.
Weil es ein Produkt ist, was kindgerecht gestaltet worden ist und auch lecker schmeckt. Und dementsprechend ist meine Generation mit dem Fischstäbchen groß geworden und ich bin auch davon überzeugt, dass die nachfolgenden Generationen auch weiterhin an das Fischstäbchen glauben und es auch essen werden.
The generation of my kids, they think a bit different on this. So they are very focused on good nutrition. They want to know what they eat and they want to know where does the product come from. So this is becoming more and more important. The thing is, we have a good story to tell. We have to tell the people that Alaska pollock single frozen is better quality than double frozen. We have to tell the story that Alaska pollock is a very sustainable fish. So we know a lot about Alaska pollock, a good story, and we just have to tell it. We have to put it on the packaging. We have to communicate it to the consumers.
The most preferred species for fish fingers is the Alaska pollock. That's what's used for all our fish finger production for the German market. And at this plant we supply the entire German retail industry with fish fingers. The fish finger line is our biggest volume line here. Last year we produced close to 16,000 metric tons over this one line. It starts with sawing the block, and then we add wet crumb, then bread crumb, and it goes through a fryer and then through a freezer. And all the machines on the line are high performance and they're linked together. We're able to produce over 4 metric tons an hour on this line. The packaging side is also very efficient, capable of packaging up to 9,500 boxes in an hour.
Früher war sehr viel Handarbeit, sehr viel Manpower gefragt. Es waren sehr viele Leute an vielen Linien. Heute ist es sehr viel automatisierter, vor allen Dingen auch im Verpackungsbereich, wo automatisch palettiert wird und automatisch die Paletten eben selber gepackt werden, was keine Personen mehr machen müssen.
Trident Seafoods has always been about people, and the fact that we had an incredible manager in Europe with Stefan Kleemeyer 10 years prior to this acquisition really made it a perfect fit.
I started working for Pickenpack in '95. I started at that time as a purchasing director responsible for purchasing raw material, ingredients, packing material.
So I met Stefan in the mid-90s when I was a student, and I was writing my thesis on the European block market, and he was the buyer for Pickenpack at the time. Then I joined Trident in 2000, and I sold my first container of Alaska pollock from Alaska directly to Stefan, who, for Pickenpack. So I think maybe this was meant to be long before we knew.
The opportunity Pickenpack Seafood has with the new ownership of Trident Seafoods, based in Seattle, is fantastic. There's nobody in this business who has a direct access to raw material. The way how Trident Seafoods can supply us in Germany with the right raw material of freshness and high quality, it's outstanding. Nobody else can do this in Europe.
We would not have acquired Pickenpack if we didn't have Stefan and his long-standing knowledge about the market, and also he has the pride of Pickenpack, and what he says is he wants to bring it back to what it was used to be known for. Pickenpack actually started out as a fishing company with one boat in 1906. It was founded by Julius Pickenpack, and they ventured into frozen fish production in 1975. And the famous fish stick, fish finger, was invented around 1955, and since then they've been one of the leading producers of frozen seafood products in Europe.
If you buy fish fingers or schlemmerfilet made from Alaska pollock, look to the catching area that it is FIO 67. You can find it on the packaging. So this is also important. Then you can be sure that it is really good quality of Alaska pollock. We have to tell the fantastic Trident story, that we know which vessel caught the fish and where is it processed, to know everything about the good nutrition of fish. We have to tell the story that fish is a food of the future.
The integration of Pickenpack into the Trident Seafoods family is going to bring quality, service, competitive pricing, and innovation to the marketplace now and for years to come. We're thrilled to tell you about this great story, and we're excited for our future.